Bryce, it's Deanne here with another Hockey Parenting 101 video. Hope everyone had a happy new year and a good holiday, whatever you celebrate. Hopefully you had a good time off. I know many of you, especially on travel teams, probably did some kind of tournament over either prior to Christmas or between Christmas and New Year. So hopefully you were successful. And successful, by what I mean is winning's okay. Maybe you came in first place, but hopefully you had a good time. Hopefully you had fun. Hopefully the kids had fun. Hopefully it's an experience they'll never forget. Hopefully they learned a lot. Hopefully they just had a good time competing and improving on their skills. Hopefully you didn't have a coach on the bench like grab an opposing player. I don't know if you saw that article or video. Interesting. Needless to say, that guy is gone. Hopefully he's kicked out of that league, and hopefully he never is on a bench again, because that's uncalled for. I know kids can be irritating, but there's no reason to be able to touch an opposing player in game. It's kind of a wild video, but anyway, I digress. This Hockey Parenting 101 video, I'm going to talk about who holds the power on the team. I'm going to go into a recent example I'm dealing with a team I'm helping coach, my daughter's team. And the focus, the topic at hand is the power for the team. What I mean by power is the team, what the team does. It should be, in my opinion, should be a consensus amongst the parents of the players. Too often, the coach will, because he's the coach, which is a volunteer position, by the way, typically you don't get to decide who's going to be the coach. Typically the association decides based on the pool of candidates they have, right? So you have no say in who's going to be the coach, which that's sort of acceptable. You don't know coming in to the team. It's quite often, especially with new players, new parents coming into the association, you don't know the coaching pool. So it's really up to the hockey director to determine who's going to coach. And typically it's a parent of a player that's going to be on that team that has hockey experience. Hopefully some, at least. They may not have grown up doing it, but at least they've been around it long enough to understand the game well enough to coach hockey. So no issue there. My issue I do have an issue with how the season progresses and the expectations for the season, how it's going to go, especially in terms of who you're going to play and how games get executed, how travel gets executed, that kind of stuff. That really should be a team effort, a consensus effort between the team, which is the parents, mostly. The kids, obviously they get a vote through the parent, but the parent. And I know I had a video before about volunteer positions. So typically you have the coach and his coaching staff if he has more coaches. So 2-3 coaches. Then you have a team manager. Typically, if you're a travel team, high-level travel team, you may have a team scheduler that's separate from the manager, but more often than not, the manager will do all the scheduling with the coach, or the coach will do the scheduling, or it's a little bit of both. Well, my expectation, and this, I'll get into my example here in a minute that I'm dealing with right now, but you would hope that the manager and the team, through the manager, has a little bit of input on scheduling and games and that kind of stuff. Quite often, you'll come into a season where the manager and the coach and them have already looked at schedules. Your association may mandate that you participate in certain leagues, which is understandable, and then you may have a good say in tournaments. My focus today is going to be what happens if parents don't want to go to a game. So the example I'm dealing with right now, and this is where the power trip stuff comes in, and where I'll get into my recommendations after I tell my story. So a few months ago, well, let me back up even further. So coming into the season, my team that my daughter's on was required to be in 2 leagues. One is a local league. The other one is sort of like a travel, like a showcase league. Showcases where you go travel 3 or 4 times a year, and then like all the teams go to one location and they play all weekend. So we're in that league. Not a lot of people are big fans of it because we're traveling. There's enough local teams nearby. I'm not sure we're doing it, but I think it's exposure for the association. So whatever, that's fine. I can live with that. However, in this league, this separate league, there's a couple of teams that are a tier above the rest. So they're destroying everybody. Don't understand it. Don't understand why they're happy to be there. Don't understand why they haven't tried to move up. Because back, again, I've said before, if you have a youth player, you want them to get better. You want them to improve their skills. I don't know how you're improving your skills in hockey if you're playing inferior opponents all the time. But I don't get it. Anyway, this team, one in particular, is just when they came to play us, they actually came to our local rink, and we played 2 games and they wiped the floor with us both games. It was not competitive at all. We were doing silly things just to try to stay in the game. It was just not a good learning experience. There was nothing to be gained from it other than disappointment. Well, yeah, that was like in November. So coming up here this weekend, as a matter of fact, we have to go play them at their home rink. They are 8 hours away from us. So when we got beat pretty bad by them, most of the team parents were like, why are we going to go travel all that way, pay all that money, stay in a hotel to just get destroyed? So there was a vote basically amongst the parents to the coach, like, hey, we don't want to go. And the coach is like, you got to respect them and whatnot. So he kind of made excuses like, no, we're going to go. Well, it was brought up to the hockey director that there was a concern, but when the hockey director, and I can't be positive that this is how it went down, but from what I've heard, and it's rumor stuff, but knowing the coach is the way as I know him, because I'm an assistant coach, I'm not surprised that this would be the truth. But he basically told the hockey director, don't worry about it, I'll get the numbers, right? If we'd have settled this 2 months ago, we could have told them, like, hey, we could have told the league probably would have fined us, whatever, we could have split that up 16 ways. We could have told the other team in advance. Hell, we would even have, I would have recommended just paying for the ice and the refs, and then they could have just had free ice and free refs, and could have found another team that they could have played against local in their skill range, and it would have been better for them, and we could have found somebody else to play this weekend. But no, it was blown off until this week, and sure enough, 3 days before, there was a threatening email sent from the league, or from the association, because we didn't have the numbers, because there's quite a few people that didn't want to go, threatening the team, threatening the people that weren't going to go with suspensions and fines, and going to put it all on the players that didn't want to go. Even though probably more than 50% didn't want to go, but some of them were reluctantly saying yes. You get that point where some people just won't speak their mind. They'll tell you off to the side, but then they won't when it comes to the vote. When it comes to actually saying it out in front of the group, they won't do it. So anyway, long story short, and I'm not hating on any of the parents for what they've said. That was their decision. No issue with that. My point is that this could have been resolved months ago, and we could have had this. If that was the league's position, if our association's position, then that could have been presented months ago. Instead, it was this big drama, which there's drama in youth hockey. Unfortunately, like all youth sports, there's drama. If the parents and the adults would get out of the way, I think it'd be a lot better. But I don't know. It just was handled poorly by the association and by the coach, frankly. So I'm saying this: if you have a concern on your team, something about the team, and you've brought it up to the manager, and the manager's brought it up to the coach, or the manager's weak and won't bring it up to the coach, bring it up to the coach. And if the coach is on a power trip, like it's my team, then you need to bring that up to the association. It's not the coach's team. He's a volunteer. He's a team parent, but he's a single vote. I mean, he may be a deciding vote. If you need a deciding vote, obviously, you know, if there's a stalemate, you need a deciding vote. That's fine. But he or she should not be dictating what goes on your team, like without some feedback from the parents, and yeah, I mean, AAA teams, AA teams, it might be a little different, but there still should be some. The parents should have a voice. The power should not all sit with the coach. And if that's the case, then why are you there? You shouldn't be in that association. They're playing for all the wrong reasons, to be honest with you. And that's why we lose so many kids. So that's why so many kids just quit playing, because it's not fun, because it turns into a business. So anyway, that's my soapbox about power in youth hockey. It should not be with just the coach. It should be the team. It should be the team parents. I think I've had one team where the coach was like, you tell me what you want to do. It was a house team, but I was the manager. You get with the parents and you tell me how the season is going to go. And that's what we did. And that's the best season I've had in all my years of being part of youth hockey. It's the best season I had, because it was all about the parents deciding what we did when we did it. So everybody was happy, and it was a great season. There was no drama. And I know folks out there have been part of youth hockey, probably watching this video. I'm sure that's a shock, right? There's always some drama. I always expect some drama, but that season there was no drama, because the parents had a say, and the coach listened, and he focused on coaching the kids. He was a great coach. Kids loved him, because that's all he was focused on, helping them get better and have fun. And that's what it should be about. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Again, Happy New Year to those folks. Hopefully you're kicking off the new year right with those resolutions, especially for your youth players. Getting them ready for the playoffs, and then hopefully taking a little bit of time off, and then jumping right into the off season and tryouts, and getting ready for next season. But thanks for watching the video. Please hit that like button, and please subscribe. If you have any thoughts or ideas for videos I could do, let me know. Any tips on things I should be doing in my videos, please let me know. I'm open to feedback. So, but I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. With that, Crisis DN signing off.